So I made some very bad financial mistakes ever since I made to the UK. In fact, I am still making some, but at this point it has reduced. And I even have a video where I talked about the financial mistake that I made my first day in the UK. And I'll leave that video here if you're interested to watch. But usually they say that migrants, with all the hard work that we put in, when we travel to this part of the world, we are still not able to make as much wealth as the locals here. Why is that? It's usually because of some bad money habits that we have or bad financial mistakes that we make. And in this video, I'm going to lay out some of these money habits that has become part of us as migrants and what we can do to change that. There's been so many articles and so many write-ups and research into why we are not able to make as much wealth. Let's change the narrative. If you're interested to know, stay tuned. So the first one I'll talk about is debt accumulation and overspending. Hey! Debt accumulation and overspending. See, where we are coming from, for most of us, when we come here and we realize we can get almost everything we want on a loan basis, it's so easy for us to keep accumulating debts. So easy for us to overspend. I mean, personally, I have how many credit cards? Barclays card, American Express card, Vanquish. I have about 3 or 4 credit cards. Me alone. Why? This is aside the one from Argos and all of those others. And all of these have money on them. I mean, American Express alone, I have about 4,000. My Barclays card, I have only 800. I don't know why they did that to me. My Vanquish, I have about 3,000. My Argos, I have over 1,300. If you sit down, you can see that I have over 12,000 pounds at my disposal. I can actually sit down and order and spend this 12,000 if I want today. I can do that. It's so easy and it's so tempting, especially if you want to do stuff. They make it so easy to accumulate debt, but that is what is affecting us. Let me explain some of the ways. Some people will get here, immediately they know that I can actually get a Benz and not pay and only pay 200 a month or 300 a month. Oh, what is 300 a month? It's just one shift. Hey, don't let that be your language. It's just one shift. Those that keep saying it's just one shift, they usually end up being broke. Do you not have that mindset? It's just one shift. See, if you do not take care, you accumulate so much debt. And then the thing is, the system is made that way so you keep paying interest. Now, some credit cards that if you do not pay the full amount at the end of the 30-day period or the month, you're going to pay so much interest, it is not worth it. See, this is the principle that you're supposed to use. If you cannot pay, I mean, it's good to use credit cards to build your credit score, Abby. But if you cannot pay outright whatever you're buying at that moment, do not even use a credit card for it. When you come to the UK and you need to buy a car, you can start small. Like I always say, my first car was less than £3,000. Even that, I stayed for a while and then I used that to buy was about 2,000. I'll leave it here, I've forgotten. But I drove that car for nearly over 4 years. Wow. Because we just recently got another car, which is fairly new, and it is a Benz, but it's what we can afford that now. You understand? So you don't have to accumulate debt because everybody is doing. Some people even buy expensive things as birthday present with their credit cards. It's not worth it. See, if you don't have the funds to pay it outright, then you probably don't need to buy it. Stop accumulating debt and just say that it's just one shift. Oh, one agency shift can pay for it. That is not true. Another principle that I use, aside the fact that if I cannot pay for it outright, I will not use a credit card, is it going to make me more money? Some of the things that I have used credit cards to buy are my phone. Okay, I bought my phone with a credit card and I knew very well that if it comes to me having to pay everything at a go, I had that money that I could use to buy. Another thing that I have used my credit card to buy is my laptop. And the principle that I use is that, is it something that is going to fetch me money? I recently bought big ass lights, a fancy camera, and expensive tripod because I wanted to upgrade my YouTube filming equipment, and I knew it was going to give me good quality that's going to bring in more views, and the views is going to translate to money. It cost me over £6,000 to invest. This was early last year, and I have made enough money to pay that back. And another thing that I use when I'm buying things on credit, first of all, I ask myself, can I pay it outright? If I can pay it outright, then I can use a credit card to buy. Secondly, I ask myself that, is this something that's going to bring me money? Obviously, the laptop I was using to edit my videos and it helped me grow my YouTube channel, so it was bringing me money, so it was worth it. And the third principle that I use as well is there an interest rate? Some organizations or some companies, they give you a no interest or an interest-free period. Like the camera and the lights and everything I bought, it was interest-free for 12 months. And I knew very well that if I'm paying bit by bit based on I'm using the money I'm making from YouTube to pay it off, I will be able to, in that 12 months period. And I even tried and forced myself to even pay it off before the 12-month period. So if it's not something that's going to bring you money, or if it's not something you can pay for outrightly with the money you have in your account, then you don't have to buy it on credit. You probably don't need it. The second some bad money habits that most migrants have is lack of financial planning. I mean, some people don't even know their total expenses in a month. They don't even know in a month how much expenses they have. All they know is they're paying bills and they're making money. But if you actually sit down to deduct every single thing to the T, including transport, including Wi-Fi, including snacks, every single thing to the T, and know exactly your starting point, how much you have, that can help you to know some things that you can actually cut down, some things that you don't actually need. Plan how much do you want to save every month, how much do you want to invest every month, how much do you want to send back home every month. Plan well to the T. I mean, it may not always go as planned. They say if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, and this applies to your finances as well. You need to plan, other than that, is going to fail. And that is why most migrants still can't make a lot of money even with all the hard work that we're still doing. The third bad money habit that most migrants have is ignoring savings and ignoring investments. Okay, if you're not saving or you're not investing, then I don't know why you're working so hard for. At the end of the day, you're going to find yourself wanting. I would say that start off by paying off all your debts. After you paid off all your debts, save at least 3 to 6 months of your family expenses in what we call an emergency fund. Save it for that time when you need it. Like say COVID happened in 2020, people lost their jobs and it went on for a period. So at that time, if you had nothing at all, people could not even pay their rent. People were dead broke. Okay, so if you're not able to save this money for a time where you definitely need, for instance, you get sick, you're not able to go to work, or something really terrible happens and you're not able to get money. I mean, if you have enough to take care of your family for 3 to 6 months, you know, that time is enough to sort yourself out or to get another source of income. But if you have nothing, you'll be found wanting. And see, everybody's gonna say that you're an irresponsible person because you could not save. Another thing is investment. Most migrants, they only think about saving, but they do not invest. Let me tell you that investing is equally important, if not even more important. There are several types of investment that you can do. The investment that you can do to help you buy your first home. The investments that I recently learned of that you can do for your children to help your children become millionaires by the time they are 30 or by the time they are 18, based on how much you're contributing. There are so many types of investments. You can invest in your pension so that when you retire, you can get money. And then you should spend the time researching about these ones, see the ones that will benefit you, and then go in and then try and invest. Spend a bit of how much you're making every month to invest. For me, what I do is the S&P 500, and very soon I'm going to make a detailed video on how you can also invest in the S&P 500. So the S&P 500, briefly, for those who are hearing it for the first time, is a type of investment where once you invest, a bit of your money is invested in the top 500 companies in the US, and each company that starts to underperform is removed and replaced. Always the top 500 companies. Talk about Coca-Cola, Google, Apple, all the big companies. So that's the kind of investment that I'm doing for now. I'm still researching on other things that I can do. I want to invest in my pension as well, so that I'll supplement whatever the government is giving me when I go on retirement with something later for my pension investment as well. So there's so many other things that you can do. Do not just only save. And always don't say that you're not earning enough. Remember that there's always somebody making less than what you have, but they are surviving. If they are surviving, you can't survive as well. See, make sure that before your money comes, let's say you know you're averaging £2,000 every month, put in your mind that you're making 1,008, because deduct that £200 and put in your savings account even before you touch the money. So make your budget based on what is left. And if you are not disciplined, there are other things that you can do. For me, I still do have 2 accounts, and there was a direct debit. So immediately I'm paid, the money that I want to save will strictly go into that other account directly, and I don't even see it. Okay, out of sight, out of mind. So I'll just spend based on what is left in the other account. Another thing is, if you are not disciplined, you can do that group susu thing. So if you have friends, reliable, responsible friends, you can start this susu with them. Now I'm doing some as well. We are a group of 7. I think I'm number 4. So I'm getting my money this month. So we started from January. We contribute £500 each month. So based on your number in the queue, so in January, all gave it to the person who was number 1. In February, all gave it to the person who was number 2. So because we are 7, the person gets 3,500. And then it goes on like that. So the person who got it in January had 3,500 to himself or to herself. And this person does not have to pay interest on it. So if the person wants to add it to their money to do something, they can do that. And they can, contribute as time goes on to the other members. You can try other savings or investment platforms where you are not allowed to withdraw easily, or it's very difficult for you to withdraw. For me, the other accounts that I have, I don't have an ATM card for it. I don't look at it. It's just going. You understand? So these things are some of the things that we should learn to do. The fourth thing that I would mention is concentrating on savings too much. Hey, I know I said in point 3 that we should save, but one huge mistake that we do is concentrating on saving. See, there's a limit to how much you can save. I mean, how much do you earn? There's a limit. Even if you decide not to eat, to sleep outside and save everything that you are earning, there's still a limit to how much you can save. Rather, like I said, invest as well. Invest. See, and don't invest too late. Invest now rather than later, because the thing about investment is it works with time because of compound interest. So the earlier you get into investments, the better for you. As well, don't just save. Grow your income. Find other sources of income. If you are only saving what you're making from your main job, it might not be enough. There's always a limit to how much you can save, right? Because if you're making 2,000 and you're saving 1,000 every month, that means the most you can get in a year is 12,000. But do you know that the most somebody is also saving in a month or in a week is that same 12,000? What can you do? You can always do something to supplement your income. If you are clueless and you don't know where to start from Skillshare. I always say this. So Skillshare, for those of you who are hearing Skillshare for the first time, is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes. So on Skillshare, there's a class on whatever thing that you want to learn. So let's say you're a nurse, but you want to start a side hustle, you want to start an online business, you have no idea how to go about it, go on Skillshare. Skillshare has experts in this field. In whatever field, you have experts in this field that have classes for you to be able to learn exactly what you want to do. And it doesn't matter if you're a beginner in that sector or you're the intermediate level or you are a pro, there's always a class based on the level that you are at. So like I always say that I want to grow my business online because I realize that having, I have people that know me, and then I believe that if I'm to bring out something to sell online personally, I have a few numbers here. I've watched so many videos where people have become millionaires basically from having a business online, selling things online. And that has been my interest of late. Okay, so I'm trying to really research hard on this. And for me, the only platform that I trust when it comes to this that I've been taking lessons from is Skillshare. So the class I'm taking is how to build your dream business and then craft your purpose and online presence by Isis Brianna. Okay, she knows a lot about the topic. She has broken the whole subject down to make you understand. There are some things that I never even thought I needed today before starting an online business, but she has opened my mind to these things. And what I love about Skillshare is the fact that they have learning parts as well. So learning parts are curated sequential class collections to master a specific skill or a specific competency. Okay, and in my learning parts, like there are 2 classes. So the first one is how to build your dream business, craft your purpose and online presence. And then the second one was how to boost your dream business, land your ideal clients with lead magnets. And these have been extremely helpful. I wouldn't say I'm a pro, I'm still a beginner. And that's what another amazing thing about Skillshare. So on Skillshare, depending on whatever level you are, there's a class for you. If you're a beginner, you have no idea, you're clueless, there's a class that will fit you. And if you're at intermediate level, there's a class for you. And if you're a pro and you just want to top up a few things, there's a class for you as well. So for me, with regards to online business, I think I'm a beginner. I'm starting at the beginner's level, and this course has been so helpful. The class about boosting your dream business, how to land your ideal client, how to craft your purpose and online presence, that class alone has over 3,274 students. There's a class on whatever thing, and they're going to give you the step-by-step guide so you are well equipped before you venture into whatever thing that you want to venture into. On Skillshare as well, there are no adverts. You're just getting the value straight up without any interruptions. Whatever it is that you want to learn, if you want to go into photography, sewing, art, cooking, hairdressing, whatever it is that you have interest in that you want to learn how to do and you're clueless on how to start, you have no idea how to go about it, go on Skillshare. The amazing thing is Skillshare is sponsoring today's video, and they're giving the first 500 people to use the link in the description a 1-month free trial of Skillshare. This is a great deal that I think you should not let it go. Get access to the platform 1 month free of charge and then learn everything that you want to learn. Thank you so much, Skillshare, for sponsoring today's video. So after growing your income or getting other sources of income, I would also say that we also need to be mindful of black tax. As migrants, we are taxed with sending money home all the time. I always say that first of all, take care of yourself first. Make sure you're taking very good care of yourself first. Make sure you're saving that money, or you're investing what you need to invest, what you've told yourself you invest, saving that at least 10% of how much you're making, or how much you think you can save, and then you can help other people. If you concentrate on helping other people so much, you may neglect yourself, and at the end of the day, it will come back to bite you. Because you know what, when you go back home 10 years from now, 15 years from now, and you have nothing to show for it, they're the same people who are going to say you did not do anything with your time abroad. So please make sure you're taking very good care of yourself. And it's even when you take very good care of yourself and then you secure yourself first financially, that is when you even have more resources to help people back home. And remember that whatever it is that they are struggling with, there are people living less than that. Unless it's a matter of life and death, they will survive without that 200 pounds. And then don't let us flaunt our wealth too much to these people to make them think that we have more than enough to spare. So always make sure that you're taking care of yourself as you're securing your financial future first before you do that. Another thing that I'll say is we also have to make sure that we have interest in financial education. As migrants, we do not take the time to research into the financial nitty-gritty of this part of the world where we are, and there's so much to learn. I remember not long ago I was in a conversation with this wealthy man from my country, Ghana, and then this man, his kids came here to school, right? And then he decided to buy a house in the UK for them. I mean, cash, full payment, buy the house for them so that they could go from, instead of going living in a hostel, they could, move from the house to the school. Right, and then he did that. So eventually the kids graduated, they finished, and then they had to leave the UK. So he decided to sell. But unknown to him, he did not know there was something called capital gains tax. And then he, according to him, from what he told me, he lost over £10,000 just through capital gains tax. He was clueless. He did not know what it was. And not knowing that there were actually legal ways or legal things that he could have done to dodge that and save that money. But he was clueless. He did not know. He only found out later when he was complaining bitterly to a friend. And the friend said, "Do you not know of this? You should have done this, and then you'd have saved the money." So apparently, if you buy a house, let's say you bought a house 100,000 and 5 years later it is 200,000. Now you're making an interest, you're gaining a profit of, let's say, 100,000. The government is going to tax you on the profit, and this is huge. And he was clueless, but there are legal ways or things that he could have done to dodge that and not pay that tax, but he did not know and he lost it. What am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that we should educate ourselves with where we are. There are so many things that you can do that can even allow you to get benefits from the government, like, to buy your house, like having an ISA account, or things that you can do to, pay off your house early or secure your future, or things that you can even do to help your kids' future. There's so many things, but if you do not educate yourself, you will not know. And you spend the rest of your life saving. And at the end of 50 years, getting just peanuts on top as interest. And then you think you've done well. Meanwhile, there's so much you've missed on. So these are the bad money habits that I think we're engaging that we can actually do better. What do you think? Any more habits that you think keep us poor? Let me know in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.